Corporate espionage may seem like the stuff of spy movies, but the reality is even more thrilling and often more dangerous. In the high-stakes world of business, corporate secrets are worth millions, and some are willing to go to extraordinary lengths to steal them. From undercover infiltrations to elaborate digital heists, the US has witnessed some of the most shocking and high-profile cases of industrial spying in modern history. In this documentary, we'll explore fascinating cases where businesses were torn apart by betrayal, cunning tactics, and sometimes sheer greed. Prepare to dive into a world where trust is fragile, fortunes are on the line, and corporate warfare goes beyond boardroom rivalries. The IBM versus Hitachi incident, 1982. In the early 1980s, the business world was shaken when IBM, one of the world's leading technology companies, found itself embroiled in a corporate espionage scandal involving Japanese electronics giant Hitachi. This case centered around accusations that Hitachi executives had orchestrated an intricate plot to steal sensitive computer technology from IBM. IBM's powerful computers were a keystone of global business operations, and their designs were closely guarded secrets. The scandal came to light when it was discovered that IBM employees had been bribed to provide proprietary documents to Hitachi in exchange for cash. This covert exchange of technical blueprints and classified data would have given Hitachi a major advantage in the highly competitive tech market, especially as both companies were vying for dominance in the rapidly growing field of mainframe computers. The espionage plot's exposure led to serious legal consequences, marking one of the most significant corporate espionage cases of its time. US authorities quickly intervened, investigating the depth of Hitachi's involvement and the methods used to extract the information. While Hitachi executives faced harsh scrutiny, the fallout also strained business relations between the US and Japan. It was a stark reminder of the lengths that companies would go to gain a competitive edge in an era of rapidly advancing technology. Beyond the courtroom battles, the incident underscored the vulnerability of major corporations to internal betrayals and the increasing complexity of international business ethics. This case became a cautionary tale for global enterprises about the far-reaching consequences of corporate espionage. The DuPont versus Colon Industries, 2009. In 2009, the long-standing American chemical giant DuPont found itself embroiled in one of the most notorious corporate espionage cases in recent US history. The case centered around the theft of trade secrets related to DuPont's groundbreaking Kevlar technology, a fiber known for its high strength and heat resistance, widely used in military and law enforcement gear. Colon Industries, a South Korean company, was accused of orchestrating a complex scheme to misappropriate this technology to compete in the high-stakes market for advanced materials. The key player at the heart of this case was a former DuPont employee who had turned consultant for Colon. This individual, having access to proprietary information, breached confidentiality agreements and funneled critical data about Kevlar's manufacturing process to Colon, enabling them to develop a competing product without the heavy investment in research and development. The fallout from this case was immense. DuPont initiated legal action, accusing Colon of not only stealing intellectual property, but threatening their dominance in the advanced materials market. In 2011, after a grueling legal battle, Colon was found liable for misappropriating trade secrets and ordered to pay DuPont nearly $920 million in damages. The case underscored the importance of safeguarding intellectual property in the age of globalization, where sensitive information could be transferred across borders with ease. For DuPont, the victory also signified a warning to competitors that trade secret protections were not to be taken lightly. The case led to reinforced industry practices surrounding confidentiality and intellectual property, influencing corporate strategies across sectors. Colon eventually agreed to a settlement in 2015, marking the end of one of the most significant trade secret battles in modern history. The General Motors versus Volkswagen case, 1993. The corporate espionage saga between General Motors, GM, and Volkswagen, VW, in 1993 captivated the business world, highlighting the high-stakes game of industrial espionage in the global automotive industry. The case began when José Ignacio López de Arriortua, a high-ranking GM executive, defected to Volkswagen under controversial circumstances. López had gained a reputation as a cost-cutting genius at GM, but his abrupt departure came with more than just his expertise. GM alleged that López took with him thousands of pages of sensitive documents containing proprietary strategies and designs. This theft of intellectual property sent shockwaves through the industry, leading to accusations of industrial espionage against Volkswagen, as GM claimed that the stolen documents were instrumental in aiding VW's production plans and competitive strategies. The legal battle that ensued was intense, with GM filing a massive lawsuit against Volkswagen, accusing them of knowingly benefiting from Lopez's actions. The scandal not only strained the relationship between two of the world's largest automakers, but also put a spotlight on the vulnerabilities of corporate security in an increasingly competitive global market. Eventually, Volkswagen agreed to settle the case, paying GM $100 million and agreeing to purchase $1 billion worth of auto parts from GM over 7 years. Beyond the financial repercussions, the case prompted sweeping changes within the industry regarding how companies handle sensitive information, particularly during high-level executive transitions. It also led to a greater focus on non-compete agreements and the safeguarding of trade secrets, as companies recognized the critical role that proprietary information plays in maintaining a competitive edge. The GM VW case remains a landmark in corporate espionage history, illustrating the lengths companies will go to protect or acquire valuable intellectual assets. The Ford versus Firestone Scandal, 2000. The Ford versus Firestone scandal of 2000 is remembered as a corporate nightmare involving espionage, product defects, and a public safety crisis. At the center of this controversy was the revelation that defective Firestone tires, used predominantly on Ford SUVs, had been linked to numerous accidents, resulting in significant fatalities. While much of the media coverage focused on the product failures, a darker side to the story involved allegations of corporate espionage. According to reports, former Ford engineers had unauthorized access to internal Firestone communications and data regarding the defective tires. The information obtained included internal memos and test data that revealed Firestone was aware of potential safety issues, but had not acted swiftly to rectify the problems. These revelations escalated tensions between the two longtime business partners, culminating in a public and legal showdown. The impact of this scandal was far-reaching. As the legal battles unfolded, both Ford and Firestone found themselves in the crosshairs of public outrage. The discovery of internal documents that highlighted corporate negligence led to massive recalls of the defective tires, affecting millions of vehicles. Ford claimed that Firestone had withheld crucial information, while Firestone countered by accusing Ford of pushing design flaws in their SUVs that exacerbated the tire issues. The ensuing lawsuits resulted in significant financial settlements for the victims, and the scandal caused irreparable damage to the once strong partnership between the two companies. Beyond the legal ramifications, the case ignited broader discussions about corporate responsibility and transparency, pushing the automotive industry to re-evaluate safety testing and quality control practices to protect consumers. The Google versus Uber self-driving car dispute, 2017. In 2017, the tech world was shaken by the high-profile legal battle between Google's self-driving car division, Waymo, and ride-hailing giant Uber. At the heart of the dispute was the alleged theft of confidential technology related to autonomous vehicles. The key figure in this corporate espionage saga was Anthony Levandowski, a former Google engineer who had been deeply involved in the development of Waymo's cutting-edge LiDAR technology, which is critical for enabling self-driving cars to see their surroundings. Before his departure from Google, Levandowski allegedly downloaded thousands of confidential files, including proprietary designs and plans for Waymo's autonomous systems. He went on to co-found Otto, a self-driving truck startup, which was quickly acquired by Uber for $680 million. Google claimed that Uber had gained an unfair advantage in the autonomous vehicle race through Lewandowski's actions. The legal battle between Google and Uber was both fierce and closely watched by the tech industry, as the stakes were incredibly high. In 2018, Uber agreed to a settlement with Google, paying $245 million and promising not to use any of Waymo's trade secrets in its own self-driving technology. The case not only exposed the vulnerabilities of tech companies in protecting their intellectual property, but also highlighted the fierce competition in the race to develop autonomous vehicles. The fallout led to heightened security measures across the tech industry, with companies implementing stricter controls over access to sensitive information and increased scrutiny of employee movements between rival firms. Lewandowski, who eventually faced criminal charges for trade secret theft, became a cautionary tale about the legal and ethical risks of mishandling intellectual property in the fast-paced world of technological innovation. The case remains a landmark example of how corporate espionage can disrupt even the most forward-looking industries. The AMD versus Intel espionage case, 1995. In 1995, the rivalry between tech giants AMD and Intel reached a boiling point when a major espionage scandal rocked the industry. The case revolved around Intel employees who defected to AMD, taking with them confidential design schematics and technical data for Intel's microprocessors. These misappropriated documents provided AMD with a potential edge in the fiercely competitive microchip market, raising questions about the ethical and legal ramifications of employee movements between rival companies. The theft, which was discovered through an internal audit, revealed vulnerabilities in Intel's handling of sensitive intellectual property. The consequences of this espionage case were far-reaching. Intel initiated lawsuits against AMD, resulting in protracted legal battles that reshaped the competitive dynamics of the semiconductor industry. Both companies responded by enhancing their internal security protocols to safeguard proprietary information. The incident also served as a stark reminder of the critical importance of data protection in an increasingly digitized corporate landscape. For true crime enthusiasts, the AMD versus Intel case is a captivating exploration of ambition, betrayal, and the high stakes of technological innovation. The Coca-Cola versus Pepsi Company trade secret theft, 2006. The 2006 Coca-Cola versus Pepsi Company trade secret case unraveled like a Hollywood thriller, showcasing how far some are willing to go in the pursuit of competitive advantage. The drama began when employees at Coca-Cola attempted to sell confidential trade secrets to their chief rival, Pepsi. Among the stolen materials were sensitive marketing strategies, product formulations, and classified business information. The scheme came to light when Pepsi, maintaining ethical standards, alerted Coca-Cola and the FBI of the illicit offer. This triggered an undercover investigation that exposed the intricate web of betrayal and greed within Coca-Cola's ranks. The fallout was swift and severe. The FBI's sting operation led to the arrest of key conspirators, sending a clear message about the consequences of corporate espionage. Coca-Cola took decisive action to bolster its internal security measures, ensuring that such breaches would be nearly impossible in the future. Public awareness about trade secret protection was also heightened, with this case becoming a textbook example of corporate integrity and ethical boundaries. For crime enthusiasts, this episode remains a compelling tale of rivalry, loyalty, and the thin line between competition and crime. The Gillette vs. Schick razor rivalry, 2005. The 2005 Gillette vs. Schick case stands as a razor-sharp example of corporate espionage in the high-stakes world of consumer goods. The controversy erupted when Gillette, a leading name in shaving technology, accused Schick of misappropriating its proprietary designs for a new razor. The theft involved the recruitment of insiders at Gillette, who leaked confidential technical designs and specifications. These industrial spies provided Schick with an unfair advantage in launching a competing product, sparking a legal and ethical storm that captivated industry watchers and the public alike. The legal proceedings that followed were intense and transformative. Gillette pursued Schick with allegations of industrial espionage, leading to heightened scrutiny of corporate practices in competitive industries. The case underscored the vulnerabilities companies face from insider threats and the critical need for robust intellectual property protections. Beyond the courtroom, the scandal prompted a re-evaluation of employee loyalty and security protocols, driving advancements in corporate espionage defenses. For enthusiasts of true crime and corporate intrigue, the Gillette vs. Schick rivalry remains a fascinating tale of betrayal, innovation, and the cutthroat nature of business competition. As we've seen, corporate espionage isn't just about stolen data or trade secrets. It's a game of cat and mouse that can topple industries and redefine entire markets. From whistleblowers who exposed corruption to tech-savvy insiders who risked it all for personal gain, these cases remind us that the battle for information is relentless. While companies strengthen their defenses, there will always be those who try to outsmart them, driven by ambition, desperation, or the promise of a big payday. In the end, corporate espionage is a shadowy world where everyone is a suspect, and no one can ever truly be trusted.